Hey friends, welcome into my craft room. Today we're going to be making some beautiful projects using Dollar Tree supplies, keeping us on a crafter's budget. My favorite. I'm so grateful all of you are here visiting with me. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy what you see. Now let's make something beautiful for our homes. I love a good easy project, and when I saw this textured floral egg, I knew it would pair perfectly with this candle pedestal. We're going to remove this sticker. By the way, it was from the Dollar Plus section. We're going to remove this sticker and we are going to glue and mount it on top of this pedestal. Super easy to do. But then we're going to dress it up a little bit more. Go ahead and use your E6000 and your hot glue and use a nice amount of it and glue them together. I like to do both. I've said this so many times. The hot glue holds the egg in place while the E6000 bonds the glass together. This is going to keep it from falling apart. Then in their craft section, they have these pearls that are super beautiful to work with for this particular project. We're going to start by cutting the adhesive strip on opposite side of that pearl. It's a long adhesive strip that's on it, and you're just going to snip to the right of the pearl, to the left of the pearl, and then we're going to put those individually on the center of the flowers. Doing this really dresses up this egg and makes it look more high-end. Now, if you want these to really be locked on there, you definitely could use a Q-tip and some E6000 and to put it on that way, so it really locks the glass and the pearl together. But doing the adhesive sticker works really well too. Just know that when you pack it away, make sure you wrap it so that it doesn't bump the adhesive on the pearls when you wrap it and pack it away for the season. Now you can see that I'm just going around to every single flower center. And when I'm done doing that, I'm going to come around to the bottom of the pedestal. I really wanted to dress that up as well. So I'm going to take some of those string of pearls and I'm going to just simply wrap it around the bottom of the pedestal. And then I also wrap it around the top part of the pedestal. In the end, we have a high class looking project on a crafter's budget. We are going to be using this bunny wood sign, a wood palette sign, 2 sheets of paper, some tape. I'm just going to be using this washi tape that I had on hand, and then 2 of these cleaner pads that you can get in the cleaning section. Take your 2 pieces of paper and tape them together, and this is so that we can create a template of our bunny. I'm going to just put that on there and trace all the way around with a pencil and then cut it all out. Once I have the whole thing cut out, we're going to use this as our pattern or a template to use on the fluffy pads. I'm going to use a Sharpie marker just because it makes it easier for me to be able to trace around it, and then I'm going to cut it out. There is going to be a lot of fluff going everywhere in this project, but I promise you it's so fun, and the cleanup is pretty simple. You just gotta, dust away all the fluffies when we're done. But I'm going to make this darling fluffy bunny using these pads, and it is such a high quality project for just a couple dollars. Now that I've got the half part on his bottom, I'm going to bring on the upper part of his torso and head, and then the last I'm going to do his ears. When I did his ears, because I want to stick to just using those 2 pads, I ended up cutting the ears apart so that way I can use them on the scraps of the other pieces left over from the torso and the behind of the bunny. Gluing them all together is super easy. Just fluff where you have the seams and then give it a haircut. This is going to really clean up and define the lines of your bunny, and it's going to make it so that it doesn't look messy. It can be as fluffy as it wants in the middle, but you want to try to control the fluff around the edges so it looks tidy. Now for that palette, I'm going to remove that twine string from the back and as well the staples, and then I'm going to use this to allow my bunny to stand upright so I can use this on a table centerpiece, on a bookshelf, on your counter in your kitchen, wherever you want to put it. You could even put it on a bathroom sink. This is such a beautiful project and super easy to make because we're just gluing together things. No painting required, just glue and some creativity. Now we want to make our bunny stand up, so I'm going to use these little wooden blocks. I have a whole bunch of these on hand. I think you can get a pack of like 50 of them in a bag, and then I get a pack of Jenga. It's not Jenga, but it's their tumbling blocks at the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to put that on the back side. Now I'm going to take one of these pieces of grass moss sheets. I'm going to cut it down to conceal that palette because I don't really want to see that part. I'm going to put that glue right onto the wood and glue on that sheet. And then I'm going to start bringing in my florals. But before we can do that, we do need to add a piece of foam. And I added some Spanish moss around it to conceal the foam. Go ahead and glue that all down, and now we can start creating our garden around our darling bunny. Use whatever florals you want. The height is up to you. I wanted to keep mine low to the ground so it looks like the bunny is hanging out in a little flower bed. We actually have a lot of wild bunnies here where I live, and I love it. I love when spring comes because all the babies start hopping around my garden. It is the best thing in spring to see all of the new birth and life come out and just be in my garden. Oh, my heart loves it so much. Do you have bunnies where you live? Leave a comment down below to let me know if you have bunnies where you live. Now to finish this look, I decided to tie a bow around our bunny, and I went with a simple blue and white gingham ribbon. For this project, we are going to be using eggs, a 18-inch wreath, but you could also do bigger, 24 if you get that from the Dollar Tree, or smaller if you want. And then these are just our starting supplies, some burlap ribbon. Go ahead, cut your eggs out of the packaging, and you decide on how many eggs you want to do. If you want a larger wreath, you're obviously going to have to do more packs of eggs. I believe I used about 10 packs of eggs. I think that's about what I did. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I wanted a lot of eggs. So we're going to just say I used 10 packs of eggs just to be safe. I took them outside on the skewer stick and I spray painted them. A darker pink and a light baby pink. Once they were all dry, I brought them back in. Now we're going to bring our wreath together. I wanted to have an oval wreath. It's really simple to do. You just basically push in on the sides, and I'm kind of bouncing it a little as I'm going, and I keep checking the shape. If I like it, perfect. I keep playing with it until I get the size that I want. Now the reason why I'm using this burlap ribbon, I am going to use burlap ribbon at the end to tie a bow, but I like to wrap these wreaths with the ribbon for two reasons. Number one, it gives it a nice clean backside. And number two, it gives you something for the flowers to glue onto. Trying to glue your florals onto these 3 rings is so difficult, and you will have glue going all over your table. Using the ribbon really does allow you to keep the glue controlled, and it has something to bond onto. And to get a spool of ribbon, it's $1.25. One spool of ribbon should be perfect for this wreath. Now, I happen to keep in my craft room long garlands from Hobby Lobby. I get them when they're on sale. They're usually about $19.99, and so I get them for about $10. I'm using half of a garland. So this greenery is going to equal out to about $5 for this greenery. Now I'm going to glue all of my greenery on, and you can see what I'm saying about the ribbon. It's really going to give something to hold on to, so glue's just not going everywhere. Once I got all of that greenery on, I decided to come in with some Dusty Miller. I love this plant. Do you all have Dusty Miller in your yard? It's one of my favorite florals to use in the springtime, and it is such a wow statement piece in your garden. I love Dusty Miller. I just picked mine up from Hobby Lobby, and again, I get a lot of my florals when they're 50% off. Now we're going to start bringing in all of the eggs. I really want my eggs to bond well, so what I'm doing is I'm using the tip of my hot glue to melt into the egg some. Squirt a little bit of hot glue in there, not too much because it'll start to burn and melt down the egg from the inside, and then bring out the glue outside so the glue is inside and outside the egg. And now it's going to really let it lock on, because plastic and hot glue, they don't always go well together. Now we're going to come in with all the fun details. First, I added in some berries. I went with a yellow berry and a golden berry. Both of these florals are from the Dollar Tree. Then I'm coming in with this beautiful, I'm going to call these flowers sprigs because that's just what makes me think of. I'm going to have this frosty white one, this greenish pink flower, these teeny tiny red pinkish roses, and then a little yellow flower. I'm coming in with all the details around the eggs. I really wanted this to feel like a wild garden with all these tiny ditzy flowers. I think these tiny flowers are so delicate and perfect for spring. I'm just simply tucking them in around the eggs, and once I got it to the liking of my, desired look, I'm now going to come to the bottom, glue on a whole bunch of beautiful pink and white ribbons, and then I bring in a big burlap bow. Now I am just fussing around with the bow, making sure it looks right, and I actually like to use hot glue on my bows because I like them to stay fluffy and big. To finish the look of the bow, I'm going to add on a button, which we all know Heidi loves buttons here, and I wish I had done this earlier before I mounted on the eggs, but I forgot to sprinkle on little black specks of paint, so I'm doing that added touch. I made sure to just focus on the eggs and not get it everywhere, and it worked out just fine. Spring is such an exciting time to be crafting in our craft rooms. I hope you get a chance to be in your craft room, that you will give these ideas a try. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'm going to recommend the most recent video and my spring playlist right here if you have missed those. Thanks so much for stopping in and visiting with me today, and until the next episode, bye friends.